What if I told you your penis isn't broken? It's just been ignored. What if the very thing you thought was lost forever, your ability to feel firm, confident, and fully alive, could be restored, not with another prescription or a blue pill, but with something as natural as the trees outside your window, something your body already understands: oils. That's right, 5 simple oils that can reverse erectile dysfunction in men over 60, naturally, safely, and in some cases in as little as 7 days. My name is Dr. John Kennedy. I've spent over 30 years as a physician, specializing in men's health, helping thousands of men across the country take back control of their sexual function. I've seen the tears, the silence, the shame that too often surrounds this issue. And I've seen what happens when we stop chasing quick fixes and start listening to what the body actually needs to heal. Here's the truth most men never hear. Erectile dysfunction is not always permanent. In fact, it's often a symptom, not a sentence. Poor blood flow, chronic inflammation, silent hormonal blocks, these are the real culprits. And the solution isn't complicated. Nature has already provided it. In just a moment, I'll show you 5 specific oils that restore circulation, reduce inflammation, reawaken sensitivity, and help you reclaim the confidence you thought was gone for good. And there's one oil in particular often overlooked that has shocked even the medical community with how fast it works. Stay with me. This may be the most important 3 minutes of your life. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another natural health breakthrough designed specifically for men like you. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0 and let me know how I can better serve your journey to real, lasting vitality. Alright, let's begin with the first oil one that I recommend to nearly every man who walks into my clinic. It's simple, affordable, and yet incredibly powerful. This isn't just a supplement, it's fuel for your masculinity. I'm talking about pumpkin seed oil, and what it does for testosterone and blood flow might just surprise you. Let me tell you about the oil that I've seen transform men's lives in just a matter of weeks. Not a fancy prescription, not an expensive treatment, just something as natural and familiar as the seeds you used to scoop out when carving pumpkins with your kids or grandkids. Pumpkin seed oil may sound simple, almost too simple, but its impact on male vitality is anything but. I first started recommending pumpkin seed oil to my patients over a decade ago. Back then, it wasn't widely talked about. It was just a little-known oil rich in zinc and healthy fats. But what I saw in the men who used it consistently amazed me. Within days, they were reporting better energy. Within weeks, improved morning erections. And over time, many of them regained the sense of manhood they thought was behind them for good. Pumpkin seed oil works on 2 critical fronts. First, it delivers bioavailable zinc, the kind your body can actually absorb and use. Zinc is essential for testosterone production, and without it, your hormones simply can't do their job. And second, pumpkin seed oil helps relax and open up the blood vessels that supply the penis, which is the very foundation of achieving and maintaining a strong erection. When your body is finally getting the fuel it needs and blood is flowing freely again, everything begins to work the way it should. But here's what makes it personal for me. One of my longtime patients, a man in his mid-70s who'd all but given up, started taking pumpkin seed oil just as a last resort. He didn't believe it would help, but 3 weeks later, he came into my office with tears in his eyes and said, "Doc, I feel like myself again." That moment has stayed with me ever since. It reminded me why I do what I do. Now, if pumpkin seed oil is the foundation, the baseline support your body craves, then the next oil I'm about to share is the ignition switch. It works like a natural version of the little blue pill but without the side effects, and it starts working where your body needs it most. Let's talk about black seed oil and why so many men are calling it their secret weapon. If pumpkin seed oil lays the foundation, then black seed oil is the spark that lights the fire. I often describe it to my patients as nature's answer to synthetic performance enhancers. Except this one has been trusted for centuries and doesn't come with a long list of warnings or side effects. The more I've studied it, the more I've seen how black seed oil earns its reputation. In ancient texts, it was famously referred to as the cure for everything but death. And when it comes to restoring male performance, that statement doesn't feel like much of an exaggeration. What makes black seed oil so powerful is its unique compound called thymoquinone. This tiny molecule plays a huge role in how your blood vessels behave, especially in the areas that matter most. It stimulates the production of nitric oxide, the same molecule that pharmaceutical drugs try to manipulate. Nitric oxide signals your blood vessels to relax, allowing blood to flow freely to the penis when arousal begins. Without enough nitric oxide, you may feel the desire, but your body simply doesn't respond. I remember a man in his early 60s who had been taking medications for blood pressure and cholesterol for years. He'd been struggling silently with ED and told me he'd all but accepted it as his new normal. I recommended black seed oil, not promising miracles, but asking him to give it a few weeks. 2 weeks later, he called me, his voice filled with emotion, and said, "It's like my body finally remembered how to work again." That's what black seed oil does. It helps your system remember its natural rhythm. It helps you feel alive, confident, and present. Beyond just blood flow, black seed oil reduces inflammation, which is critical. Chronic inflammation is like rust on a pipe. It slowly narrows the passage until nothing can get through. This oil helps clear that out, supporting healthy blood vessels and restoring sensitivity. But we're only just getting started because while black seed oil gets things moving, the next oil actually rebuilds the structure. It doesn't just improve performance, it repairs damage from the inside out. If you've ever wondered whether it's possible to reverse years of circulatory decline, what I'm about to show you next might just change everything. Let's talk about an oil that's often overlooked but has the power to restore blood flow on a level that feels almost too good to be true. If black seed oil gets the blood flowing, then pomegranate seed oil is what helps rebuild the roads. Because let's be honest, if you're over 60, chances are your circulatory system isn't what it used to be. And nowhere is that more obvious than in the bedroom. The strength of your erections, your ability to maintain them, and even your sensation during intimacy all come down to one simple thing: the condition of your blood vessels. That's where pomegranate seed oil does something truly remarkable. This isn't just about heart health or antioxidants in some abstract sense. Pomegranate seed oil contains a rare compound called punicic acid, one of the most powerful natural substances for repairing endothelial tissue, which is the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels. When those vessels are inflamed or damaged, blood flow is restricted, but when they're strong and flexible, your body responds with power and precision. And this oil helps restore that responsiveness. One man I worked with had been dealing with what he described as numbness down there. He was healthy overall, exercised regularly, but something just felt off. We added pomegranate seed oil to his routine, and about 2 weeks in, he came back and said, "It's like someone turned the lights back on." That moment stuck with me because it wasn't just about function. It was about feeling connection, vitality. That's what healing the blood vessels can do. But it doesn't stop there. Pomegranate seed oil also supports natural testosterone production. As we age, our levels drop, sometimes slowly, sometimes sharply, And that affects everything from mood to desire to physical performance. This oil helps your body rebuild from the inside, both structurally and hormonally. And the best part is it's completely natural, no needles, no side effects, just powerful plant medicine, doing what it was designed to do. Now, if pomegranate oil is the builder, the next oil is the balancer. Because even if your blood flow and hormones are improving, there's one invisible force that can still shut everything down in an instant stress. And I'm going to show you an oil that not only calms your mind but enhances intimacy. In a way, few substances can. You won't want to miss this. Now that we've talked about rebuilding the body, we need to talk about something just as important, rebalancing the mind. Because no matter how strong your blood flow is, or how much your testosterone improves, if your brain is under pressure, your body won't respond the way you want it to. That's where ylang-ylang oil comes in a floral-sounding remedy that's far more powerful than it appears. This oil doesn't just smell good, it calms the storm inside. I've sat with countless men who've told me, I want to be intimate, but when the moment comes, my mind gets in the way. That kind of anxiety isn't rare. It's real, and it becomes more common with age. You start overthinking things you remember past failures. You doubt yourself, and all that mental chatter shuts down the very system you're trying to activate. Ylang-ylang oil helps you quiet that noise. It works on your nervous system like a gentle hand on your shoulder saying, "You're okay, you've got this." It balances both the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems, which means it helps you feel more relaxed while also gently awakening your arousal response. That's a rare combination. Most products push you too far one way. Either you feel sedated or too amped up to stay present. This oil brings you back to center, and that's exactly where you need to be for deep connected intimacy. I remember a man in his late 60s, retired Navy, proud, strong, but worn down emotionally from years of performance anxiety. I suggested he try ylang-ylang oil, not as a cure, but as a calming ritual, a few drops behind the ears on the chest, maybe before a warm bath. He later told me, for the first time in years I wasn't worried. I was just there in the moment with her, and that made all the difference. Sometimes the biggest shift doesn't happen in your body, it happens in your mindset. And when the two align, when body and mind are finally in sync, intimacy becomes effortless again. But there's still one piece left to complete the puzzle. One oil that doesn't just support your body, it supercharges it. It's the difference between functioning and thriving, and what it does in just 7 days will leave you speechless. Let's talk about the final oil. And now we arrive at the oil that ties it all together. If pumpkin seed oil gives you the foundation, black seed oil gets things moving. Pomegranate oil rebuilds the structure, and ylang-ylang balances your mind, then pine needle oil is the accelerator. This oil doesn't just support what's already happening in your body, it amplifies it. And for many men, it's the very thing that brings everything back online quickly and powerfully. I'll be honest, I was skeptical the first time I came across pine needle oil in a clinical context. I had known it for its respiratory benefits, its immune support, but sexual health, that felt like a stretch. But the research and the results quickly changed my mind. Pine needle oil contains natural compounds called monoterpenes, especially alpha-pinene, that enhance your body's ability to use oxygen. Why does that matter? Because oxygen is the fuel your blood needs to deliver energy, sensation, and staying power to every part of your body, especially where it counts. I remember working with a man who had spent years trying different pills, pumps, and procedures. He'd seen specialists, tried diets, even considered giving up on intimacy entirely. When we introduced pine needle oil topically along the lower back and chest before bed, it was like someone flipped a switch. He told me, for the first time in years, I didn't just feel like a man, I felt like myself again. That stuck with me because it reminded me that at the end of the day, this journey isn't just about sex. It's about identity vitality and reclaiming the parts of yourself you thought were gone. Pine needle oil improves circulation, enhances oxygen use, reduces inflammation, and may even help your body utilize testosterone more efficiently. Men often report results in as little as 5 to 7 days, more energy, better firmness, stronger sensation. And when used alongside the other 4 oils, its effect multiplies. But here's the thing, oils alone won't change your life. It's what you do with them that matters. And coming up next, I'm going to walk you through a simple 7-day plan. No gimmicks, no guesswork, just a daily routine to help you feel stronger, more confident, and more connected than you have in years. You won't want to miss it. So now that we've explored these 5 incredible oils individually, let's talk about what happens when they work together, because that's where the real magic begins. You see, each oil plays its own role. One boosts testosterone, another increases blood flow, one calms the mind, another rebuilds your vessels, and one energizes your entire system. But when you combine them into a simple, consistent routine, the results can be nothing short of life-changing. Over the years, I've developed what I call the Vitality Revival Routine. It's not a product, it's not a brand. It's a daily rhythm built on nature's wisdom. Every man's body is different, but I've seen again and again that when these oils are used together, something shifts. It's not just physical. It's emotional, relational, even spiritual, because this isn't just about achieving an erection. It's about reclaiming a sense of self that you may have lost to age, stress, disappointment, or illness. One patient of mine, 72 years old, recently widowed, deeply withdrawn, started using this routine, not expecting much. I just want to feel a little more alive, he told me. Within a week, he reported better sleep, clearer focus, and yes, stronger, more reliable erections. But more than that, he said, I feel hopeful again. That's what this is really about. These oils support your body's natural healing intelligence. They don't force change, they allow it. The routine is simple. A tablespoon of pumpkin seed oil in the morning, black seed oil twice a day, a teaspoon of pomegranate seed oil, with a fatty meal, a few drops of ylang-ylang oil, applied before bed to calm the nervous system, and pine needle oil, gently massaged into the lower back before sleep. It's a ritual, a moment of intention. And when you do it every day, your body begins to remember what it was built for. Now, I want you to imagine what your life could look like a week from today. More energy, more confidence, deeper intimacy. Because in just a moment, I'm going to show you exactly how to put this 7-day plan into action. Simple steps, real results. And if you stick with it, you might just feel like a whole new man. Let's walk through it together. So here we are. You've heard the science, you've heard the stories, and maybe, just maybe, you're starting to believe that things can change. And they can. The truth is, what we've covered today isn't just a list of oils. It's a path, a quiet, powerful shift, from feeling stuck and defeated to feeling strong, energized, and connected again. I've spent decades working with men who thought their time had passed, and I've watched them come back to life. Not because of magic, but because of consistency care and a willingness to try something different. We began with pumpkin seed oil, the foundational support that fuels your testosterone and restores healthy circulation. Then we introduced black seed oil, nature's performance booster, improving blood flow and waking up your system from the inside. We moved into pomegranate seed oil, which repairs and strengthens the vessels that carry life to your most intimate parts. Ilang Ilang reminded us that intimacy begins in the mind and that calming the nervous system is sometimes the most powerful medicine of all. And finally, pine needle oil, the activator, the catalyst, taking everything and amplifying it into real, visible change. Together, these oils offer something that no prescription ever truly can: renewal, not just physical but emotional. The return of a spark, the confidence to look your partner in the eye without fear or shame, the ability to enjoy your body again, not as it was at 25, but as it can be now, with wisdom, with depth, and with dignity. You're not broken, you're not past your prime. You're just missing a few of the pieces your body has been quietly asking for. These oils are not miracles, but your body is. And when you give it the right tools, it remembers how to heal, how to feel, how to thrive. So if you're still with me, I want to thank you not just for listening, but for caring enough to explore what's possible. And now it's time to begin. Pick one oil, start your ritual, and let your body show you what it's still capable of. Because the truth is, you're not done, not even close.